Alright guys, so for the Rearranging Physics motion worksheet, it's asking you to complete the chart, and the first one is done for you as an example. So the first step is to identify the topic. What does the equation relate to? So we're given this is the equation, and they actually filled the topic out for us. So it is in the topic area, you will see that the creator of this worksheet put uniformly accelerated motion. And what uniformly accelerated motion is, it's the motion of an object where the acceleration is constant. So that means that in these particular scenarios, our acceleration is going to be some kind of number at all times. Now, if you are here after watching the subscripts video, this hopefully should make a little bit of sense. So if you didn't understand what subscripts were before, go ahead and watch that video and then come back to this. Alright, so we know that the subscripts in the equation next to each variable denote something. So we have v, which stands for velocity, and we denote that as v. But like I had said in the previous video, we use subscripts because we can have multiple objects that use the same variable. And so it's really important that we know how to tell the difference between which v or which variable has that value. So what this equation is saying is my velocity, we look at the subscript, in the x direction is going to be equal to my velocity, and then I look at the subscript, in the x direction again, and then it has this little 0, that stands for not, which means it is our original, not, when you see the word not, it just means original, or the starting. So velocity in the x direction starting plus our acceleration in the x direction multiplied by time. All right, so that's what this equation is asking for. So in the event that we are solving a problem where we are given velocity in the x direction as well as acceleration in the x direction and time, and we're solving for velocity in the x direction, but it's starting velocity, that is where we would isolate this. So what is the identity of this variable? Well, since it's a v, we know that it's velocity. But since it has a subscript, we know that it's trying to assign a value to something else. And it's trying to assign a value in the equation, or in the problem that we would be given. So velocity in the x direction and anytime we see the 0, like I said, it means not, or original, or starting. So what is the definition of this particular variable? Well, since we know it's velocity, we know that velocity is defined as displacement divided by time. The SI units for velocity are going to be meters per second, because the SI units for displacement is meters, the SI units for time is going to be seconds. And since we divided displacement by time, we know that the units are going to be meters over seconds. So now we're left with the rearranged equation. So we have v sub x is equal to v sub x naught plus a sub x t. So think of this as what we had done for the math pretest. This is no different than saying, you know, let v sub x is equal to a, v sub x naught is equal to b, a sub x is equal to c, and t is equal to d. So I know that looks a little weird, but just run with me on this. So v sub x is equal to a. So I'm going to plug in a right there. V sub x naught is equal to b. A is equal to c. And t is equal to d. So I want to isolate b by itself. So what I would have to do is I would just subtract c times d by both sides. On both sides, rather, sorry. So I have a minus cd is equal to b. And if I were to replug in the original variables back in, I would get v sub x minus c, which is a sub x, times time, which is denoted by d, or t, is equal to the velocity in the x direction starting. So your rearranged equation would be v x naught is equal to v sub x minus a sub x t. Let me know if that makes any sense. Let me know if it doesn't make any sense, and we'll continue to go over it.